Hello, y'all. I am back again for another video. And I have been doing videos about sociopathic females and things like that. And it's just like an ongoing saga. So I hope these videos kind of give you like a perspective to kind of help you if you're dealing with situations that are similar or that are remind you of something you've been through or what somebody else has gone through. So Elijah's girlfriend, Kaylin, that's a sociopath. I'm sure of it. Okay. And you got to remember this. Sometimes they're already diagnosed. They're already diagnosed. They sure are. They may not never tell you. Sometimes they diagnosed and they don't even know what they've been diagnosed with. Like if they're told, oh, you have antisocial personality disorder. Sometimes they think that mean that they're not social. They don't even know what the diagnosis is. So, um, of course, once you know what narcissism is, you know what triangulation is, you know what hoovering is. You can look up all these terms and you kind of understand that a lot of them will kind of work off some of the same playbook or will remind you of one another. So, um, what a sociopathic female will do, especially a white one that's dealing with a black male, she will do a lot of stereotyping. Kaylin, this white girl, is not the first sociopath that's ensnared Elijah. And Elijah will be prone to attract, especially white sociopaths, since that's the type of girls that he dates. He will attract sociopaths because the courts called him a undiagnosed psychopath. So the difference is a undiagnosed psychopath. A psychopath is born, and a sociopath is created. So this is not the first white lady that Elijah has pulled in on his team to trick them into believing something. The first white lady that I could think of that he pulled in was the older white lady that he ran away to her house. She allowed people to smoke weed on her porch. Um, the kids would vape off through her house. She wouldn't even have the common decency to check backpacks before they came in. Like this older white lady, she did very little to stop this situation. She told me, she was confident she could raise black males. It was just out of control. Um, so Elijah attracts white sociopathic women. Okay. And what happens in these situations, um, I deal with white women like through the church, some work environments and stuff like that. But I don't really I don't have a best white friend, okay, that's coming around the house and stuff like that. I just don't have that in my life. So what happens is as I deal with Elijah, I am learning myself how white sociopathic females behave. And one of the things they do is they don't listen. And they have a lot of stereotyping. So there's a lot of stereotyping that goes on. Okay. So what happens is they stereotype and compare you. If you're a black lady, they compare you to other black ladies that are considered corrupt. So I will give you an example. The older white lady um, that Elijah had ran off to. Um, what they do, they come in a situation too, and I have I have logic. So I understand I just arrived in your life. I cannot take your worst parenting day of the universe and paint you to be that way. Like this is just what you do every day. So Elijah lies because he has psychopathy. He's an undiagnosed psychopath. This is what the courts called him, right in front of me and another family member. Elijah was not present at court that day, but this is what the prosecutor referred to him as. And I do think it's a legitimate diagnosis for someone with Elijah's behavior. I truly believe this. And if you're an undiagnosed psychopath, it ain't really nothing you fully got control of. It's like a birth disorder, right? Um, However, he knows better. Undiagnosed psychopath or not, it don't give you a right to lie, handle people without a conscience and stuff like that. But Elijah will ensnare white sociopaths. He got another one, this girlfriend, Caitlin. So what she'll do is she'll do a lot of stereotyping. So she stereotyped that Elijah's not the favorite. Okay. So what she does, she sends me these videos. First, she sent me a video of a white man the other day talking and giving his perspective. White sociopaths, older or younger, they don't respect your boundaries. So what I do when every time he ensnares one of these white sociopaths, thank you so much for the like. I appreciate the like. Click another like if you're in here. So I'm gonna go back to these videos because I'm gonna put some of these in the description box. So what I want y'all to do to this is like kind of like a soap opera, right? So it's kind of like keeping up with the story. So I'm gonna go in here. I did a couple of videos about it. One of them is even 4 hours long. You'll really learn a lot and enjoy watching that video. Okay, so let me go in here. I'm going to go to the channel and tell you kind of the name of the videos. So I'm going to go in the lives. Thank you so much for subscribing as well. So, and I'm not, on no racism stuff or nothing like that. I'm just telling you how it's rolling. So if y'all know someone or deal with certain situations, and it's just an interesting story time to learn how it actually works, right? It really is. It's even interesting for me to see how it's going down. It's very interesting. So I did lives. I did one about the verbal wars and escalate. I did one about verbal wars and escalating reactive abuse. And then I did a video about narcissists and the eviction process. And then I did one about sociopathic females and what they want. This is about this Kaylin girl that Elijah's with. So they're real easy to trick. Elijah, he will be charming and manipulative, and he will be able to trick a white sociopath because she will stereotype me or compare me to other Black women. So, like, for example, with the older white lady that years ago was harboring runaways. She used to be a foster mother, okay? And she would say things to me like, she knows about Black mothers and what they about, and she dealt with them through the foster system. And I was talking to her on the phone. This was the older white lady, this is a sociopath. And I said, what kind of Black mothers you talking about, kids in foster care? I said, are you talking about the drug addicted Black women? She said, yes, those. I said, I get it. It's a lot of those, but that's not my situation. I've never been on drugs. So this is kind of how this conversation went, right? And that white woman, she was harboring runaways. So I ended up putting her in the policing system. And I tried to advise her of that. This was the one years ago that Elijah attracted. Um, so Elijah told me that they would sit up at like 2 in the morning and predict that I was going to jump off of a building. So, see, an undiagnosed psychopath, they meet a sociopath, right? So, imagine your own son, your black son, sitting up with a white woman that's about 60 some years old, looking 85, right? Sitting up with your son, predicting that I'm going to jump off of a building. I did none of that. I got the police involved. I put her in the policing system. So ultimately, she ended up driving around being fearful to have my children with her. And she ended up, getting a black man to come in and put Elijah out. She still ended up putting Elijah out. So is Deanna Barzillo here? Let me see. Hello, Deanna Barzillo. How are you doing, dear heart? I'm so happy you're here. Yeah. So everybody say hi to Deanna if you're here. Thank you so much for coming in, dear. So so I'm just doing more about this Kaylin and Elijah situation. And I'm convinced that this girl is a sociopath. And this is what Elijah attracts. So she sends me this video. So what white women do, these particular white women, these are not white women that's in the church. And these white women, the sociopaths, I'm excellent, dear heart. Deanna, how are you doing? So I want to clarify this. A white lady that's not a sociopath, okay, she's going to behave different. But if the white lady's a sociopath, she's going to be different than a regular white lady, okay? So I have had good experiences with white ladies. So this is not nothing against all white ladies. I'm just telling you about these white ladies so I can get you to understand the dynamics and how it goes down. So they're easily manipulated, but one of their issues is they don't listen to Elijah. Elijah is telling them the truth right in front of them. Okay, like for example, the other day he says on the phone, Kaylin's sitting right there. He says, well, if you would have like over spanked me or really abused me, Mom, I couldn't have took that. I probably would have did something to you. So basically he's expressing right in front of Kaylin that if I would have been a straight up abuser, he would have unalived me, y'all. I'm glad you're good, Deanna Barzillo. I'm glad you're good and excellent. So Elijah is saying right in front of Kaylin what he's about. And I would say when he was around the older white lady, the Miss Donna lady, he would have been more he was more in his lying phase, right? But Elijah, he's improved some, but he says it right in front of him. So I'm pretty much, I stay away from Elijah. Last time I was around him and Kaylin, September 2024, she put her fist on my side, not punched, but she put her fist on my side. So I stayed away from the situation. Elijah is very difficult to work with because of his psychopathy. I can't reason with him. I can't get him to stop cussing me out permanently. He's still gonna call the bitch word every 6 months or whatever. However, he's hooked up with a sociopath. Okay, so it's easy to get a sociopath on his team to do his dirty work because she's gonna stereotype, right? So anyone that saw me raising my children, like my ex-aware narcissist, he was around to see me raise my children. Anyone that I came around where I brought all three of my sons around, none of them will say I was unfair. They could clearly see I was a fair parent. Any of my sons that did anything, they all were disciplined, no matter what. And I'm not talking about no harsh, extreme discipline. So, Caitlin sends me this video, and I'll let y'all hear the video. Okay. So, what do sociopaths do? These particular white sociopathic ladies, old or young, they compare me to other black ladies. So they say, "Well, I just saw this video, and this black man said that this is what his black mother did, so it must be true." Just like with Miss Donna when she was harboring the runaways, she was comparing me to black mothers that she had kept. She was a foster mother. And I think supposedly she no longer had her foster license, but she had this adopted white son that she over medicated and abused, that she had took from his father, because Miss Donna was married to her white adopted son father. So she had this pattern of like trying to take people kids. And what I did in that situation, I didn't overly pursue it. So when someone's trying to take your kids, let them have them. Go ahead. You want them? Here you go. So she's trying to steal some kids, but real quick, she decide within 3 to 5 months, she don't want these kids. Okay. The kids must not be that great if they mama not chasing them. So with a white sociopath, what I do, one of their goals, a white lady sociopath, she stereotypes black women, and she's always trying to bait a black woman into a fight. So like, for example, when Miss Donna was harboring the runaways, when Elijah and Daniel was there, Daniel was only there like 2 months. Elijah was there up to 5 months. So this was back in 2022. This has been a while back. So what Miss Donna would do, she would say, so they start this sick, twisted relationship and dynamic, right? So with both of these white ladies, I will typically look a little bit more youthful than they do, right? So from my perspective, there will be some outward jealousy that I may not even feel from another black woman, because another black woman is not intimidated by prettiness. It's no intimidation. Okay. So they start this dynamic, and it's a dynamic of baiting me in because they think all black women ghetto and gonna fight them. They really don't expect you to back off, right? So with the older white lady that was harboring the runaways, Miss Donna would say, "You want to come get them? Come on, come on, come on." She would talk like that. Now, we had a black lady that had went to a white lady house and got herself shot, right? I have a playlist about that on this channel. So with white ladies, I just be straight up. I told the white lady, I said, "Look, you want me to come to your house to get my children?" See, the thing is, I gave birth to my children and I raised them. So I don't need to fight with a sociopathic white woman over my own biological son. I'm not going to do that. And this is why. For one, I'm not their girlfriend. I'm their mother. So, white ladies that are sociopaths, older or younger, they automatically start this sick dynamic. It's very like an incest type thing. It feels very weird to me, right? Where they start this sick dynamic where they begin this or they attempt to begin this competition of the white woman competing with me over my black male, which is my own son. And what I do in these situations, I don't too much participate in it. I minimalize my participation in it. So one of the ways I will do that, like with Miss Donna, she was like, "You want to come get him?" She's trying to set me up to get arrested. So one of the sociopathic goals of a white lady um, is to get me in the system, get the police involved. She's trying to get me in the system. And what I do is I don't fall for that. That shit I don't fall for. What I do is keep myself calm and I put they sociopathic ass in the system. So like when Miss Donna back in 2022 was trying to bait me in, I said, look, check this out, Miss Donna. If I come to your house, you gonna have to leave your house. You really don't want me to come to your house to pick up no kids. Because if I come to your house, you gonna have to leave your house. So sociopathic white lady shuts the fuck up because she knows what that means. Okay. And I said, so I'm good. I'm not gonna come to your house. I don't need to prove to the white sociopath that the kids love me more. It's I don't need to do that. There's a natural boundary of care for me that will be there anyway because I raised them and they are my sons. Come to find out, y'all, that lady, Miss Donna, wasn't none of them kids. She had two daughters and a son in there. I couldn't figure out why this woman hated me. Come to find out, none of them was her biological kids. The lady mad. And from my perspective, she had animosity towards me because I actually gave birth to my children. They're actually my children. That's what she was jealous of right there. And that's another thing with a white sociopathic female. The average black woman, if she adopted her children, I was raised around ladies that had adopted their children. You already know that the child's adopted. But with white sociopathic females, they pretend like it's really their child. Like, I mean, yeah, maybe they legal child because they've adopted the child, but that's just something about my friend I would like to know, or someone that's trying to hang around my kids. Like, that's just a normal thing to know that those are not her birth children. Most people, I just know that, like the people in the church, you know, if it's not their birth child. It's nothing wrong with saying, this is my adopted daughter, or calling them your daughter, but everybody know that they are adopted. It's nothing wrong with it. It's not a devaluation or anything, but this is the facade that Miss Donna, the white sociopathic female, did. So one of the things Elijah will do, he will tell white sociopaths about my background. And like for one, Miss Donna knew that I was raised in a prominent, popular restaurant in St. Louis, Missouri. Okay. So there will be jealousy that's coming in her mind because when Elijah makes her aware of that, come to find out, Miss Donna was raised on the West Coast in California in deep poverty. So what happens with these white sociopathic females, I don't really fit into their stereotype of the traditional black woman, the traditional poor and impoverished black woman. I wasn't raised on the welfare system. I wasn't raised on food stamps. And it's nothing wrong if you were raised on it. I know people that was raised on it and they're very successful. Okay, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not downgrading it, but there will be this deep inherent jealousy and competition that they have. And whatever toxic black females that they knew about, they will assume I'm the same. So like and I'm just going to be honest, every white sociopathic female that Elijah gets around, something is seriously wrong in their head. And I mean seriously wrong in the head. Like, for example, Miss Donna, when she was harboring the runaways, she would say, yeah, I know about those type of black moms or those type of moms. I dealt with them in the foster system. I'm like, ma'am, my children are not foster children. I'm just a parent trying to get my children to not be on drugs, get them away from peer pressure because they're being subjected to peer pressure. And I'm just trying to save the life of my children. My children don't live in a foster care. They live with their mother. I am providing for my children. There's no foster care. I've never been on drugs. So those black women, I know about those black women you met because I know how it goes for that particular type of black woman, but that's not what you're dealing with, ma'am. You're getting ready to be up in the policing system. I don't want my children in your house. So the white sociopathic female, in her sick mind, she's actually offering a better environment. And I'll give you a pure example of this. Kaylin, the young white girl that Elijah's with, she allows her baby to eat shit, y'all. But in her mind, as a sociopath, she thinks that she's a good mother and I'm a terrible one. She ain't even took her baby and put her baby in the hospital for eating feces, y'all. So there will be all this stereotyping. So what Kaylin does, and they won't respect your decisions. Every white sociopathic female, they will automatically feel like they have some control over me. And these women don't be my friends, y'all. Like the Miss Donna lady, the white sociopath that was harboring the runaways. I just met her through the school. I met her because Daniel, my youngest son, was friends with her son at school. And I'm not a racist. So I allowed them to hang out at Miss Donna's house one 4th of July back in 2022. Next thing I know, all my kids moving in with the sociopathic white lady because she's harboring runaways. And she's really in disagreement with my parenting style because I'm strict on say no to drugs. So she's like, fuck your nigga mama, in so many words, in a passive aggressive way. You can smoke your shit over here, dog. The white sociopathic female is like, the black bitch is too strict. Come on, you light your shit up over here. Smoke your brains out over here. It's no problem. So at the end of the day, my biological sons, they know right from wrong. So Kaylin sends me this video the other day. She sends me the video of the white guy. And they're always trying to get me to adopt their culture, right? So the white sociopathic female, she will have very toxic perspectives, even in comparison to other white ladies. So a white sociopathic female, her perspective is going to be crazy even to another white lady that's not a sociopath. Please understand that. A white sociopathic female is going to make another white woman feel very uncomfortable. So Kaylin basically harasses me, and all the white sociopathic females that Elijah has pulled in, they try to coach and groom me like Elijah's abusive ass is some sort of prize. I'm missing out on something. I'm really going to suffer if I'm not in communication with an abuser. And none of this is true. Hold on, I'm trying to find this video, y'all. See if this is it. Oh, she sends me shit like this. This is the one Kaylin sent me, the girlfriend. Hold on. This cussing.
Love them, listen. I didn't know what I was going to do, but I knew that I had to fucking be there. It's not complicated, homie. Right? Simple. That's all I did, bro. Because my dad left.
Let me play it again.
Just fucking be there for your children, you dumb fucks.
You hear that? This is what Kaylin sends me, the girlfriend, the white young sociopath. Be there for your children, dumb fucks. I was there. Okay. I raised Elijah. However, when you go into a no contact, if my son is an undiagnosed psychopath and he cannot stop being verbally abusive, and it could lead into physical abuse, I have a right to morally disown him. But to the white sociopath, they don't realize how old the child is as well. This would be something that you would send to a mother that had a 5-year-old that she was neglecting. Elijah, he's not a teenager anymore, right? So the white sociopathic female, because I'm Black, she thinks she has a right. She thinks she has an inherent right to tell me what to do and how to run my life because of slavery, y'all. It has to do with the history in America. And the white sociopathic female does not think that I am capable of making intellectual decisions because in her mind, she believes that I'm some kind of dummy. Okay. This is how the white sociopathic female behaves towards me. Like I'm some kind of dummy, and that what she's telling me make more sense. Okay.
Just fucking be there for your children, you dumb fucks.
You fucking be there for your children, you dumb fucks. Now, from my cultural perspective, even if a Black person sent me this ain't gonna pull me in. You can't send me a video calling me a dumb fuck for not doing something you don't think I should do and think it's gonna work. So this is what Kaylin sends me the other day.
Just fucking be there for your children, you dumb fucks. Be there, love them, listen. I didn't know what I was going to do, but I knew that I had to fucking be there. It's not complicated, homie. Right? Simple. That's all I did, bro. Because my dad left.
Yeah, so this one's saying, be there for your children, you dumb fucks. Now, before that one, she sent me this one. Listen to this. This is a white man. Okay. And I'm saying that because of this, so I can describe the situation. And then I'm going to go down. Since that abuse didn't work, then she starts sending me videos of Black men, of a Black man where he experienced favoritism, because in her mind, me being in a minimal kind of no contact with Elijah, I don't let Elijah in my house. I don't meet with Elijah. I stay away. Okay. Because like I said, white sociopathic females, both of them want to put me in the system, and I'm going to prove it. Kaylin sent me a text. I predicted this in one of my videos, y'all. I told y'all this is why I don't go around her kids. Didn't I tell you she gonna try to get me in the CPS system? Now, I never met her kids. I stopped going around her before she gave birth to both her children, okay? But I told y'all in one of my lives, one of the reasons I don't go around is so if anything pop off with CPS, they can't include me in it. And if they try it, I get to say, look, I never met those kids in person, dog. And it be true. I never met the kids in person. I only see the kids on video, a chat and stuff like that a couple of times, and heard them over the phone. Now, I'm going to prove to you my point. I said this in a video. that she would try to enter me into the CPS system. And when I say enter me into the CPS system, it's not because I would do anything to her children. It's because I would be lied on. Like, for example, Kaylin, the sociopath girlfriend, the white girl, she lets her babies eat feces. Now check this out. If I'm dumb enough to go around her and her kids, she can say, I fed the kids shit. Now, you don't want to be in a legal situation like that where a white sociopathic white bitch lies. And this is why. She can sometimes have an upper hand with the wrong police. See, as a black woman, I have to be careful when a white motherfucker's lying on me. Now, if a black person lie on me and I say, that ain't true, the police listening. But sometimes when a white person lie on you, it can have even greater harm. So I don't put myself in those situations. So Kaylin sends me a text and she says, what I'm doing to Elijah is neglectful, and that's a CPS case. Now, he's not CPS age anymore, but she threatened CPS on somebody that's no longer CPS age. CPS meaning Child Protective Services. Now imagine the upper hand that this white sociopath young girl would have if I went around. I said this in another live, that this is the situation she would try to put me in. However, within the past couple of days, she threatens CPS. What she's really saying is this. Subconsciously and passive aggressively, she's saying this. I'm mad with you, ma'am, because I can't get you to come around my children so I could get you a CPS case. She wants that for me. She got Elijah all fucked up in the system. He's on one of the longest legal stipulations and agreements that even murderers are not put on. I'm serious. She got him all fucked up. No contact orders, you name it. Boom, boom, boom. She got him. It's certain jobs that he would be declined from right off the bat. And I'm talking about basic minimum wage jobs. For a while, Elijah is fucked up. And he's not even a felon yet. But that stuff that she's already got on him can affect him with renting. He's already been served with an eviction, so he could be going through that as well because the rent bill's high. So let me play this other video. Thank you for the other like, y'all. So, and I don't have nothing against this white man that's doing this video. It's not his fault that this sociopath sent this to me, but also he's talking about a certain type of situation. So I'm going to play him, okay? Nice looking white man, you know. He ain't did nothing to me, but I'm going to play his video because this is what the white sociopath sent me.
Your kids want nothing to do with you when they grow up. It's your fault as a parent, not the kid's fault. No one just comes out of the room programmed to hate their parents once they hit a certain age.
Now, he's saying, remember, when she sends me these videos, she's talking about me, right? So he just said, when kids don't want anything to do with you, Elijah does want something to do with me. I'm rejecting Elijah because of his abusive patterns. So keep in mind, it's not that he don't want anything to do with me. He's unhappy that he can't get away with what he wants to get away with. The sociopath female perspective, whether it be Miss Donna or Kaylin, is that I should allow him to abuse me. Also, at the same time, Kaylin's complaining about Elijah. She says he cusses her out. I said, well, you should call the police on him. See, if Elijah's cussing her out, which he is, and she cussing him too, he did that here. All he did was just took his abusive male self and just moved it to another household. What he can't do here, he's doing over there with Caitlin. Now, there's a no contact order. If he's cussing you out, she can get rid of that in 5 minutes by having the police come get him. It's a simple fix. She don't have to tolerate that. And I told her that as well, that she doesn't have to tolerate that. I said he shouldn't be cussing you out. I didn't raise him like that. I didn't teach any of my sons to abuse girls. Okay. But Kaylin's getting what she puts in. She was buying Elijah liquor and he was not of age. Then she sits around and say, well, he can't remember it, nothing. He act like a child. Well, stop buying him liquor and dope. He can't remember anything anyway because of her babies hollering. Her babies are hollering all over the place and eating shit. And Kaylin was on drugs when she had the first child. I think she tried to cut back on the drugs with the second child. But if you have a pregnancy, white or black, and you smoke vape all throughout the day, smoke marijuana, pop pills, smoke shrooms, and you do all of that while you're pregnant, of course that child's going to have behavior problems. I told Kaylin that before these children was born, especially the first one. A white sociopathic female, they're stuck with their result. Okay. They create their situation and they're stuck with the result of what they do. And they expect a black female to take on their responsibility. And I'm not doing it. Elijah is just one potential father of her children. She doesn't even know who the children's father is. Neither one. She doesn't know. And that happens to a lot of women. I'm not too much devaluing that situation because that's why we have paternity court. That's actually more normal than most people think. I don't care if she don't know who her kids by. I just don't like the treatment. So let me play this white gentleman that she sent me this video of.
Kids want nothing to do with you when they grow up. It's your fault as a parent, not the kid's fault. No one just comes.
And this is the thing with a white sociopathic female. Kids, if they don't want to have anything to do with me, I actually don't care about it. See, for me, I'm a woman that believes in the Lord. I understand this. Okay, for one, I'm lucky that I came out with 2 or 3 children that like me and respect me. I got very lucky. And this is why. When I was having children, I didn't pick godly men that were filled with the Holy Ghost, men that were dedicated, respectable, not corrupt, and very loyal to the Lord. I didn't pick those kind of men. So if my children grow up and they are mean and don't want to have a relationship with me and are disrespectful, it's kind of expected once you develop experience because of the type of men that you have children with. And it's the same way for men. I have a really good male friend that I've been around several men that have the same problem. And I'm not talking about men I slept with. I'm talking about just straight up homeboys that have had children with drug addicted women that have a lot of trouble with their children when they grow up because the children have bad DNA. Now, I'm not having a problem with Daniel and Isaiah. I got very, very lucky, okay, that they were able to work out their issues. So with the white sociopathic female, she seems to care about stuff that I'm not caring about. I really don't care about it. If a child grows up and doesn't want to have contact, oh, well, I did the best I could do. I have a life. Okay, so you shouldn't care. The thing is, I raised my children. I provided for them. and I did the best I could do. Long as I know that in my soul, and because of the type of men that I pick to have children with, I should be glad that I'm even cool with 2 or 3 of them. Seriously. I could be in a situation where all of my children hated me. Okay. So let me play this gentleman video. And like I said, there's nothing against this white man. He don't know that a sociopathic female is going to send me this. This wasn't his intention.
Kids want nothing to do with you when they grow up. It's your fault as a parent, not the kid's fault. No one just comes out of the room programmed to hate their parents once they hit.
And sometimes it is the kid's fault. I've been watching video after video of elders like 70, 80, 90 years old, and they were very dedicated and loyal, spent quality time with their children and had money, and their children disowned them, won't come see them. Tried to throw them in nursing homes. One lady, her child took her to court. Her son and daughter took her to court to try to take her money, and they wanted to confine her to a nursing home. She won her court battle, but that happened to one particular lady. I think I did a live. I don't know if I did a reaction on that. I think I talked about that in one of my lives. I think I mentioned that. If not, I'll have to see, but I think I did. So let me play this again. This
Kids
gentleman.
want nothing to do with you when they grow up. It's your fault as a parent, not the kid's fault. No one just comes out of the room programmed to hate their parents once they hit a certain age. You did something while they were growing up to spark resentment and distance, so they don't want anything to do with you anymore. Instead of calling them a she kid, a spoiled brat, look at how you treated them and how you acted as the adult. Because while we would like to look at our relationships as parents to our children as a two-way street.
Now, Elijah will consistently say in front of this Kaylin lady that I was a good mom to him. He will say that in front of her, but she will still send me this video and act like this actually has something to do with me.
Kids want nothing to do with you when they grow up. It's your fault as a parent, not the kid's fault. No one just comes out of the room programmed to hate their parents once they hit a certain age. You did something while they were growing up to spark resentment and distance, so they don't want to.
And I did spark resentment in Elijah, and I'm going to tell you how. Elijah does resent me. I wouldn't let him bring weapons in my home. I stopped him from bringing blue false flagger gang bandanas in my home. Okay. I stopped him from taking my keys without my permission. I stopped him from bringing one of his teenage friends. She had her mom's stolen car. I stopped them from pulling that in my driveway. I didn't allow him to bring marijuana in my home. I said, you got to get that out of my house. I searched his backpack. I searched his things. I put a stop to Elijah's behavior. I also, every 6 months, Elijah would even offer me drugs. I say, I'm not a drug addict. I won't buy food stamps from Elijah. Elijah tried to sell me food stamps. I will participate in no criminal activity with Elijah. None whatsoever. So he does resent me. Elijah resents me, but it's because I don't support his wrong. And that's what a real mother would do, right? A real mother does not support the child's wrongdoing. Okay? So, but Kaylin sending me this video, she's actually manipulating what he's saying because he's not talking about the type of parent I am. This white gentleman is a wise, smart man. If I was to talk to him and to explain my situation to this white man that Kaylin sent me this video of, he would say, stay away from that man before he harms you or someone around you. So this white man is not talking about a mother like me. He's talking about a mother that enables their children to do wrong and that just didn't try to raise their kids the right way. This white man is not talking about me. or my situation. But Kaylin, one of the things white sociopathic females will do very bluntly and overtly is assassinate my character. And neither one of them were around when I was raising all three of my sons. So they don't really know if any of this is true. Like I said, Elijah says right in front of Kaylin. He even said the other day that if I would have been over punishing him or over disciplining him, he would have basically unalived me. He said he couldn't have took it. Elijah's telling the white girl that he's with that I did not abuse him in so many words, but she's not listening. It's something wrong in the sociopathic white female brain. Hold on, y'all. I am so sorry about that, y'all. That was a very important business call, right? So you just never know who's gonna call, and it was a number I didn't recognize. So I'm glad that I answered that. So yeah, so sorry about that. That went by so fast. 13-minute call, right? 13-minute call. I guess gosh, I don't know what I could have did. Let me see if I did that. Yeah, I didn't want to end the streaming. Yeah, I definitely didn't want to end the streaming. So yeah, thank you so much for holding, y'all. But I just got a beautiful sweet call from a white lady that's not a sociopath. So I just want to clarify that not all white sisters are sociopaths. So going back into playing this video with Elijah, right? And I deeply apologize for the 13-minute hold. Thank you so much for your patience. Um, so I'm gonna go back into this text message. So yeah, with a white sociopathic female, it's easy for Elijah to manipulate them because they're gonna stereotype me anyway. And they got me in this black neglectful mom category. Caitlin complains that he's cussing at her, and that she has to do his resumes and stuff for him. But this is the thing with Elijah. I helped him with one online app. When he was living with me, he only had one job, and he had that job for about 3 months. Now, his other two or three jobs, he got those jobs when he moved out and left. So, his first job, he was about 16, he was a teenager, and he worked a summer job for 3 months and had that job 1 month into even when school started. So I was even devalued because I helped him with an online app. I mean, when I first got my first job, I had help with my application. Okay. I think from what I remember back in St. Louis, Missouri, my brother helped me because my brother already was working at the place. And so my brother, he had helped me with the paper application because back then it was no internet. Okay. So it's very normal to receive help with an application. So um, Elijah's running a game with Caitlin. He's grooming her to be like his mother and to be doing stuff for him. But see, Caitlin was grooming Elijah to be taking care of her babies, getting bottles, changing diapers. She was grooming Elijah. But what's happening is she don't like it that Elijah making her do stuff too. And this is the way I taught him. See, Elijah's raised by a mom that requires reciprocation. It ain't just I help you type thing. Elijah knows that. It's a give and take. We a team here. That's how I raised them. But Kaylin, because she's a white sociopathic female, she believed that she had some kind of perfect slave. And she ain't got no perfect slave. She got somebody that's going to be making her do stuff too. He watching her babies. So she should help him with an application. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Okay. So at the end of the day, it sounds fair to me, but and then there's this competition. So Kaylin says to me in the text message that they're doing better than me. And she's a white sociopathic female. So she's in this competition with me that I'm just not in with her. I don't even understand where it's coming from. I never said I was better, not better. I just have declared I'm not helping them. And this is the reason you stop helping. When your relative is with a white sociopathic female, it's always going to be a nightmare. Whether you help them or not help them, you're going to be in a better position not helping, because look what I get from helping. Oh, well, he said that you helped him do a job application. That's not abnormal when it's a kid's first job. Even a genius can get help on their first application, because you're going to get to the part that says work history, right? And it's like, what do I put here? I don't have any work history. Well, you can put that you volunteered to clean up at the school. You can put you were on a basketball team at one point, and you helped the coach. You just whatever. You did an online class, so it's nothing wrong with getting help with the job application. But Elijah's a con artist, lazy, and he's grooming her to be manipulated. And I mean, she was grooming him. She only got with Elijah to move in this place. He picked her up from a shelter because he was pretending to be homeless. She was actually really homeless. And so Elijah was a supply source for her. She's a white sociopathic female. That's all. And I did a video about that. What does the sociopathic female want from your family? And what she wants is resources. That's one of the things that she wants. I give a layout of what all she wants and how she wants it. But that's basically, and I apologize, y'all, so much for putting y'all on that 13-minute hold. But I had a beautiful white lady call me that's not a sociopath. So trust me, not all white ladies are sociopath. I just had one of the most beautiful sisters call me. Okay. And a sister can be a black or a white woman. But this is the supply that pulls in, that Elijah pulls in. This is his second one that I've interacted with. One was older, Miss Donna. She's from my perspective, she's a white sociopathic female. No empathetic person would act the way they act. So let me play you this other video she sends me. Then finally, she tells me, I'm only nurturing myself, which is not true. Just because I'm not helping them and coming around doesn't mean I'm not showing empathy in many other areas. You're not selfish because you don't want to help bad people. So let me play this. So she sends me videos. Every day she sends me videos about parenting. She's trying to teach me how to be a parent when she should be trying to teach herself how to break free of Elijah. That's her best lucky day will be for her to be in my situation where she's in a no contact. Like she says, he's cussing all at her and stuff. So there's this with white sociopathic females, they take it on and they believe that the guy is the being victimized, right? That the black male's being victimized. However, what I do like about the white sociopathic female is that she will reach out to me, collect information, and eventually she uses that information to turn on the black male, because what I'm providing is facts. And as she goes through the journey, she will see that what I'm saying is true. It's just a matter of time. I think she's already seeing it. So hold on, let me play this. So she starts sending me videos of black men. And because this is a black man saying it, this has to be Elijah's situation, right? But this has nothing to do with Elijah. Okay? Because there was never no situation where one's getting whooped and really beat and the other one's not. That's this guy's situation, this black male. So I'm going to play his video. This is another video Kaylin sends me because, of course, it's obvious that he has a black mother. So the white sociopathic females that Elijah attracts, they're always stereotyping me. So see, it's just like what the police do when people are driving in traffic. They see a black male with some pretty dreadlocks. Oh, he must be a gang member. He must be a violent rapper, right? Like, he can't be just coming from church and he plays the piano or he's the cameraman, right? So it's always some stereotyping that goes on. And what happens with these white females, these white sociopathic females, they're not actually around me. They're not my friend. So they're just basing this information on assumptions and what Elijah's saying. It's not coming from any gift of intuition or any truth. It's actually totally lies. Okay, let me play this, y'all. This is one of the videos she sent me. So she sent me the video of the white guy. Okay, and I said, so what? I don't care if he's not talking to me. I'm not losing out on nothing. So let me play this, okay?
The brothers and sister disrespect her, talk back and say whatever they wanted to say, and she'd yell, maybe argue back, but that was it, ultimately.
And I never let any of my sons do that. All of them, if they talk to me bad, get disciplined. All of them. But she's painting it like this must be Elijah's situation because he's a black male in this video, and he obviously has a black mother. But this is not the case. Elijah said right in front of Kaylin that he didn't get heavy spanking and punishment. And if he would have, he would unalive me. He said that when she was sitting right there. But she still paints Elijah as some sort of abuse victim. And he's not claiming that he was abused like that. But in this black man's case, there was heavy corporal punishment in his family with this black man in this video.
The brothers and sister disrespect her, talk back and say whatever they wanted to say, and she'd yell, maybe argue back, but that was it. Ultimately, they got away. So I tried my luck.
And my sons, they don't get away with it. If they talk back to me or mean or rude, they're not getting away with it. None of them get away with it. But I'm a black lady, so this is a black male talking about his black mother, so we must be all the same, right? And then, of course, the white sociopathic female that's with Elijah, she's going to use this evidence of me pretty much being in a no contact with Elijah. And ultimately, what really popped that off is she put her fist in my side when I went over there in September 2024. I don't know why they thought I would be back. That's just not okay. But she's a white sociopathic female, so she's entitled. She thinks she could just put her fist on my side and I'm going to be back so I could get charges. That's her goal, y'all. White sociopathic females, they like black people to get charges, y'all. I'm keeping it real. They do. Even somewhere, I could tell, even with the criminal charges and the agreements that Elijah's on, this white sociopathic female, she's feeling a sense of power that she has some kind of control over him. She can call the police at any time and say he's here, and he gets at least 12 months in jail. She has power over him now. And the white sociopathic female, she wants that over me too. But I don't go around the situation. So let me finish playing this brother's video.
The brothers and sister
fair use, y'all. Fair use. I forgot to say fair use for all the videos I played. Fair use.
The brothers and sister disrespect her, talk back and say whatever they wanted to say, and she yell, maybe argue back, but that was it. Ultimately, they got away. So I tried my luck a few times, and she she hit me in my mouth, bloody my lip all up. So I learned quick that the rules were different for me. That was even a time when my brother came in the house bragging about hitting the dope fiend, and she laughed it off like it was cool, you know? So one day I came home and my hand was messed up. And she like, what's wrong with your hand? I'm like, I hit a dope fiend. And she ain't laugh.
Yeah, and see, none of my sons could come in my house and tell me that they hit a dope fiend and I would laugh. This is not even my nature, right? So this video that Kaylin's sending me, it has nothing to do with me because I'm a totally different type of person than this gentleman's mom. And what it sounds like in this case with this black man in this video, it sounds like one of those cases where he mentions he got spanked and hit in the mouth, but the siblings didn't. They probably got different daddies. And it sounds like his mama may not have liked his daddy and took it out on him. And that's not something that I do. I don't care about the child's father. I don't take it out on him. So in some traditional black abuse situations, especially among black males, she's disciplining him more. It sounds like in this case, I believe what he's saying. She's disciplining him more because she didn't like his father. But in Elijah's case, it has nothing to do with his father. It has to do with his disrespect, his repeated behavior that's toxic and disrespectful, that's aggressive and threatening, and he's getting older. See, Elijah's aging out. And so his behavior is just out of hand, okay? So, and it's unbearable. Nobody should tolerate it. Being someone's mother doesn't mean you have to tolerate any of this behavior.
The brothers and sister disrespect her, talk back, and say whatever they wanted to say, and she yell, maybe argue back, but that was it. Ultimately, they got away. So I tried my luck a few times, and she hit me in my mouth, bloody my lip all up. So I learned quick that the rules were different for me. That was even a time when my brother came in the house bragging about hitting the dope fiend, and she laughed it off like it was cool, you know? So one day I came home and my hand was messed up, and she like, what's wrong with your hand? I'm like, I hit a dope fiend. And she ain't laugh. She went and got a hammer, came back, swung it a few times. I moved out the way, and then one of them hit my collarbone, right? She told me, don't ever do that again. That could have been someone's grandfather. That could have been someone's uncle. Now, I was wrong, but what confused me wasn't the correction. It was the difference. Why was I regulated like this and they weren't? So for years, I felt like she had something against me. But here...
Yeah, and in this case, I don't have anything against Elijah. It's how he behaves, right? So I'll give you a perfect example. My other two sons have never did this. The last time I let Elijah in my residence was the end of November 2023, right around there, where he was in the residence. So I'm going to tell you about this incident, right? He was in the residence, November 2023, my residence, and he had been kind of in and out and gone a lot. So as everyone gets older, they begin to wash their own clothes. And I mean actually putting their clothes in the dryer, loading the washer. I asked Elijah to wash his clothes. He told me, bitch, you wash my clothes. Elijah genuinely felt like it was some kind of favoritism. I got my other two sons, Isaiah and Daniel. I said, could you please let this man know that it's no favoritism? Y'all are all washing your own clothes. I don't wash everybody's clothes as often as I used to because they're of age. So what happened was, because Elijah was out the house so much, rules change. The children get older. So as they get older, I'll put more responsibility on them. and they are made to do more, if that makes sense. Elijah was going all off, bitch, you wash my clothes. And he took a almost empty plastic bag, a garbage bag that had like one or two items in it, and he threw it and hit me in my chest. It didn't hurt me because it was basically like an empty bag. But Elijah did that right in front of Isaiah and Daniel. So Elijah is a bad influence, and he has irrational behaviors that my other sons just are not currently doing. And also, when I'm not allowing Elijah in my residence, I don't have problems with Daniel. Elijah is a bad influence on other people that he's around, inclusive of Caitlin. Even though she's a white sociopathic female, he's a bad influence on her. Elijah's not going to help make her sociopathy better. So fair use, y'all. Let me play the next video she sent me. So I went over that, my perspective of that gentleman's video. So let me play the next one that she sent me.
I regulated like this, and they weren't. So for years, I felt like she had something against me. But here's what I realized as a man and as a father. Sometimes the parent that's harder on you ain't disciplining you because they hate you. Sometimes it's because they see something in you. Now that I'm a parent, I can look at my kids and see what they're going to be before they even can see it themselves. I can see their strengths, their weaknesses, and who can handle pressure, who needs softness. Maybe my mother saw something in me. Maybe she knew that I wasn't built to get away with things. Maybe she knew that if I went down certain paths, I'd waste the gifts that she saw early. She didn't know how to nurture it. She didn't know how to communicate it. She damn sure ain't know how to facilitate it in a healthy way. But she did what she knew how to do. Even when she put me out at 17 and I was homeless, I look back now and I think maybe she knew.
Yeah, and in this case, he wasn't put out at 17. He voluntarily went to a shelter and pretended homeless. So see, Kaylin being a sociopath, she's gonna remove facts. White sociopathic females, and in this case, I'm talking about white sociopathic females. I've talked about black female narcissists, black sociopathic females all throughout my videos. But in this case, I'm talking about white sociopathic females that Elijah is manipulating. So I was nurturing with Elijah. I did communicate it effectively. He's not listening. He was not put out and made homeless at 17. He was on a punishment one time where he was committing some crimes in the neighborhood. And he admitted that he was doing that during a certain period of time. And I said, no, you can't be home for 2 weeks. You're on punishment. And he went up to sleep up the street and slept in the schoolyard. That was a segment, but that was a brief segment, and he came right back home. Okay, but Elijah was not made to be put out at 17. He voluntarily chose homelessness and chose to pretend to be homeless. So the first part of this video was okay, but the end part of it doesn't apply to me. None of this really applies to me because this gentleman's situation is a different situation than me and Elijah's. It's just not the same dynamics. Let me play the next video she sent me.
I went down certain paths, I'd waste the gifts that she saw early. She didn't know how to nurture it. She didn't know how to communicate it. She damn sure ain't know how to facilitate it in a healthy way. But she did what she knew how to do. Even when she put me out at 17 and I was homeless, I look back now and I think maybe she knew that I could handle it. It wasn't healthy how it happened, but I handled it. I became the first sibling with my own place, the most structured, the most responsible, the one building something stable. Out of all of us, I corrected myself the most. And to this day, I still hear her voice in my head when I'm slipping. It ain't a soft voice. It ain't a gentle voice. And it may not be all healthy, but it keeps me in line. So if you grew up feeling like your parent was harder on you than everybody else, ask yourself something. Were they picking on you or were they preparing you? Because sometimes the child that gets the hardest discipline is the one that the parent believes can carry the most weight.
Yeah, and I don't believe that about Elijah. He's not carrying the most weight. He moved out, but he's the most irresponsible of all my sons. Um, for one, when Elijah began leaving, he was breaking a lease. I had him listed on my lease. Elijah left and didn't meet the lease expectations. Ultimately, I took him off my lease years ago. He's been off my lease. But Elijah, he's not the most responsible son I have. Yes, he moved out, but he's being evicted and he owes the property $15,000. The fact that you just move out from home doesn't mean you're the most responsible. What do you do when you leave? Do you pay your bills? Do you stay off drugs? Do you not rob and steal steal from people that you don't know? Or you not being a male or female that's committing domestic violence upon your mates? So Elijah is not the most responsible son I have. It's just that he moved out. He's currently being evicted and he owes $15,000. Myself and my two sons that live here, we do not owe $15,000 on our rent. Isaiah and Daniel are the most stable and responsible living sons that I have. Now, has Elijah tried? Yes, I think he tried his best. It never was a good idea for him to move over there anyway and get that big of a bill racked up. But just the fact that he moved out. So from Kaylin's sociopathic perspective, she believes he's the most responsible just because he's moved out. So she paints my other two sons that she ain't never around. This white sociopathic female, she paints this big picture and she does not socialize with us. Okay? I'm glad the white sister that's not a sociopath called to make my day. Just to remind me that not all white women act like this, right? But this white sociopathic female, that's Elijah's girlfriend, in her mind, she believes or is trying to convince herself that Elijah's this big responsible guy. And he's not. You're not irresponsible just because you still stay at home. We a team here. So moving out too soon and you have a stable residence, I'm going to end it on this note. Never give up something permanent to go to some temporary. Because what's temporary is just what it is. It's temporary. It is hard on the West Coast. It's expensive. There's not enough jobs for people in general. From my perspective, on the West Coast is overpopulated with not enough avenues of income for everybody that's here. You just got to get and grab what you can get and grab. But this is what this white sociopathic female, she's entitled to think she can just send me these videos and make all these stereotypes about me. Now, what do I do in these situations? What I never do when someone is assassinating my character, right? I never try to bring them around me and prove them wrong. And this is why. If you bring them around you, they just gonna find something else and you're going to be giving them more information to assassinate your character with. So never hang out, go around anyone that repeatedly assassinates your character. I don't care what race they are. So this is the supply that Elijah pulls in as being a so-called undiagnosed psychopath. He pulls in white sociopathic females. And these are sociopaths. They aren't born psychopaths. They're sociopaths, like with Miss Donna, the older lady that was harboring all the runaways. She's in the policing system for it. Okay. She became a sociopath because she was raised in extreme poverty. Okay. And then Kaylin, she's a sociopath because she lost her mother at 11 and was abused by family members, non-family members, and numerous people once her mother died. So she developed sociopathy. These white women in these cases, I don't believe they were born psychopaths. Miss Donna may be, but still, because of her deeply impoverished background, and I mean, Miss Donna said she was poor. She admitted that she was very, very poor. She told me she was. So you got the white sociopathic female and then the undiagnosed black psychopath, and they will manipulate one another. Both of them will assassinate my character. Both of them will not have any empathy for me. Both of them will think that they're entitled for me to be helping them. And, you know, they will both behave as like my life is theirs. The white sociopathic female will behave and she thinks I'm some kind of Looney Tune when I don't want to be around a black abuser. I just don't support it. If you're going to be an abuser, it's just going to be an easy way to turn me off. I'm not going to interact with you. She shouldn't even be contacting me talking about Elijah. That's a violation of boundaries. Most chicks would just stay out of it. That's your mama. Y'all work it out. I ain't got nothing to do with that. But a white sociopathic female, she will act like it's her job to save the black community, but can't save herself. She ain't resolved how to stop the baby from eating feces. Her own child is eating feces. To me, that would be more of a priority than sending me these videos. Elijah didn't eat shit, okay, when he was growing up. And Elijah called me and contacted me and asked me what to do about this. And ultimately, the white sociopathic female, they want you in the criminal justice system when you are a black female. And even though she's with a black male, she likes that control that she has over him because he's in the criminal justice system. She feels like she's accomplished something. She feels like she's bringing another race down, and she's enjoying having the control over Elijah because now he's the criminal that she wants him to be in and likes him being. It makes her feel rich because she ain't on those agreements. She feels like she has some kind of control over Elijah, like she's his master. It all links back to slavery. White sociopathic females, in their mind, black ladies especially, were still enslaved, and we're supposed to be doing what they say. They have not came out of the delusion. They don't understand that when they are harassing you, harboring runaways, touching your physical body, that those are illegal acts, and it gets them in the policing system. They're not dealing with a full deck. So this is the video. um, just in general, of more of what white sociopathic females will do and how it's working and how they treat black females when they're with black males. And just so you will know what they are and how to handle it. The way to handle it is stay away. And I told y'all that this sociopathic female would want CPS cases on me. She threatening CPS cases for somebody that is over CPS age, all because I'm in a minimal no contact. I'm not going to be going around these people getting into fights. Not going to be doing it. And I'm not going to be breaking my peace. A white sociopathic female, she does not care about the law. It's not illegal. And also, I pointed this out in other videos. You're not neglecting anyone when you're in no contact. If you are in a no contact with anyone, whether it be your relative, your son, no matter who it is, your daughter, any relative that you're in a no contact with, if you are in a no contact and you are protecting yourself, you are not neglecting them. It's not your responsibility when you are in no contact. So there is no neglect. That neglect thing does not apply when you're in no contact. I got a disabled brother right now that I'm in no contact with. Oh, I'm stopping abuse and mistreatment of me. It may not even always be full abuse, just mistreatment, ungratefulness. I don't support ungrateful people anymore. I'm tired of hearing the mouth of ungrateful people, whether they disabled or not. They smart enough to know I'm coming to visit. So like I'm in a no contact with my disabled brother that is in an adult family home. I'm not neglecting him when I don't go visit him. That's not neglect because I'm in a no contact. Because when I go visit the man, he's very disrespectful, abusive, and mean. And he's ultimately very ungrateful that I'm even visiting him. That I'm not neglecting him because I don't go back. That's not neglect. I'm not his power of attorney. I'm not his guardian. He's not my son. He's not a son that's living in the home. Even if he was my son and my brother, say my brother was my son. I had a son in an adult family home. If my son treated me bad when I went to go visit him and I went into a no contact, that is not neglect. You are not neglecting people that you in a no contact with, y'all. The neglect part does not apply. Please like, share, and subscribe. I love y'all. Tune in for more. Thank you so much for the chats. Again, Deanna Barzillo, I appreciate you coming in. I'm glad you're excellent and good. Tune in for the next live. And within a couple of hours, I'll put more videos in the description box for you to watch. Okay. So again, please like, share, and subscribe. I love y'all. Bye, Deanna. Talk to you later. Tune in for more right here with Advanced Insight. Thank you so much for the new subscriber. Thank you so much for the likes. I appreciate y'all so much. Oh, y'all, guess what? I got the laundry room done, y'all. I'm so happy. I feel so much better about my laundry room area. It feels like really clean, bright, and I have a decent work area now. It was an area of the house I had been kind of like neglecting and overlooking because there was no working washer there for a while. So I'm like, I'm not really using it like that. I was just using the dryer. But I did the shelving unit overhead. I'm happy with the order in it. Okay. It's much orderly now. I took it took me like 13 hours, y'all, I took 13.5 hours of my time, 13 and a half hours, to do a really good pulling out all the detergents, and I just did a real good cleanup job to it, and I'm happy with it. I'm happy with the result of it. I got a new rug I put over there. Um, it's some cute old school stuff, y'all. Yeah, so I'm comfortable with it, and I'm really happy with the new washer and dryer. Very, very happy with it. I love y'all. Please like, share, and subscribe. The good thing about this channel is when you're cleaning and doing stuff in your house, you could just play this video, put it on your speaker. You could be building a whole new house and be listening to me, right? Remember, I always say this is like a radio show. Again, I love y'all. And I told y'all it was going to be happening. I did it in other lives. Please listen to me. When you in a no contact, the blessed part about it is she can only threaten CPS on me for somebody that's not even a teenager no more. Because I stayed away from her kids. You got to stay away from sociopathic females, kids. Sociopathic white females, they like to get black girls charges, lie on you. I was right about her. I said it in my other lives, what she'll be trying to do if I go around those kids of hers. No way. Don't do it. Focus on your own life. Stop caring what people say. Okay, I'm a terrible mother because I am not going around my abusive ass, psychopathic ass son. For right now, that's the choice I'm making. That's my choice. Okay, I'm a terrible mother. But I will never be more of a terrible mother than someone that allows their child to eat feces and not take that child to children's hospital to get that child in the poison control unit and get IVs and get the child tested. If you eat feces, you got horrible parasites and infections and bacterias and poisons all going through your body. That's one of the worst things you could eat is some feces or some boo-boo. But she don't think that's terrible, y'all. So sociopathic white females, Miss Donna, she was doing an at-home job. They're not doing volunteer work. There's no YouTube channel. They're not running a business. Even the household chores, she's having Elijah, go fetch that, go fetch that, get the baby a bottle. They're just lazy, not healthy, young, having abnormal hip pains. They should have a hip pain. They're sitting on their ass all day on an air mattress, just sitting there telling somebody to fetch their stuff. So I told y'all it would be happening. I told you that the sociopathic female was going to be starting this CPS mess. She's so out of her mind. She is saying what's happening with Elijah, the fact that I'm not really supporting him in his life right now. I don't have to. Legally, I don't have to. This is the thing. Once you turn 18, it is a blessing if your parents still help you. But your parents don't have to help you. You're very blessed if you have parents that let you stay, that want a roommate and be a team with you, and y'all support one another. When you live in America, you don't have to take care of people for the rest of their life. When you live in America, you don't have to go visit disabled people that talk crazy to you. The United States of America is a beautiful place to live because if you put in the work, you can actually live in a lot of peace in the United States of America. This is the country of freedom. You don't have to put up with these people. The United States of America laws and our Constitution is riddled with laws that say you don't have to put up with these people. The land of the free. Take advantage of it and realize you don't have to deal with any of these people. Be blessed if your family helps you, but I do believe in morally disowning children. When they're neglectful, they're abusive, they're mean, they're judgmental, they're assassinating your character, they don't have empathy, they don't understand that you as a mother or a father or a human being as well, you more than just somebody's mother or father. You are a human being with emotions. I believe in morally disowning children and not looking back. I don't pray to my children. I pray to the Lord. That's all I got to say. I'm very grateful for the relationships that I do have with my children that do contact me. But with a white sociopathic female, she just will not stay out of your family business. She doesn't have enough to do with her time, is the bottom line. Again, I love y'all. Thank you so much for the likes. Please like, share, and subscribe. Tune in for more right here with the Advanced Insight channel. Thank you. Bye. And thank you for the white, beautiful sister that contacted me for 13 minutes that's not a sociopath. Thank you. So respectful. I love her. Thank you. Bye. Please like, share, and subscribe. Tune in for more. Thank you so much for the chats and comments. Deanna, tune in to the next live as well. Thanks for coming in here, girl. I appreciate you. Thank you. Bye, y'all. Please like, share, and subscribe.